So the Cleveland Browns are in today, guys. We got some interesting news coming out of Cleveland as they just released their sole veteran receiver on their roster in Brian Hartline. If you guys remember who Brian Hartline is a veteran receiver at age 29, primarily known for his time with the Miami Dolphins. He did pretty well with the Dolphins in his career. He decided to go into an outside venture and go with the Cleveland Browns, a team that really needs a veteran presence on the roster, including at the receiving core, as this team is currently trying to go on to bigger and better things. This offseason has just been an atrocious time for the Cleveland Browns, whether it's Johnny Football, Johnny Manziel, issues with him going to nightclubs, getting released from the team, so on and so forth. Is it RG3? Josh Gordon's name has been thrown in there for a while. The team lost so many star players like Tayshaun Gibson, Alex Mack, another receiver who left them.
Cleveland Browns on the offensive side of the ball is kind of atrocious. It's very scary as it is. This is also a team that is trying to venture into a much rookie and a much younger kind of look to the squad. That's going to be Hugh Jackson's new role with the team, is getting younger. So they're parting ways with guys who are in their late 20s, like 28, 29, to the early 30s to mid 30s. I can see it because when you go and look around this entire roster, a lot of these guys are very young guys, right around in their mid-20s, mid to late 20s, maybe around 26, 27. I think the average age on this team is like 27 or 28. Beyond that, the rest are just either rookies coming into the league. And this team has really done a great job over the last couple of years in the draft, including this year's draft. But the problem is when you talk about the receiving core, like I said before, there is no veteran receiver on this roster, and that's going to be, big shoes to fill, because you cannot learn immediately from a rookie receiver. The rookie receiver needs to learn from a veteran guy on the roster, and that's what I thought Brian Hartline, I thought his job was going to be safe with the team. Since everybody else is getting cut, everybody's moving on from this team, no one wants to resign with this team, I thought Brian Hartline was a guy that they have to keep in order to have some sort of veteran presence on this roster. And I think Brian Hartline adapted pretty well in his first year. Yes, he was not the go-to receiver for the team. It was Travis Benjamin, who is now with the San Diego Chargers. He's no longer there, and I think that Brian Hartline's a guy you want to, take a bunch of these rookies underneath his wing. The only veteran present on this roster is a still very young and still learning Andrew Hawkins. Beyond that, Taylor Gabriel, Darius Jennings, these guys are just not big guys, big playmaking kind of guys right now. I mean, Andrew Hawkins has a skill set to be a big, underdog playmaker for this roster. I'm not going to hold my breath to it, but did bring in, the converted, pretty much a Terrell Pryor. With this whole new rookie look, they're trying to get younger, and Terrell Pryor, a guy who transitioned very well to the receiving core, to a wide receiver, did very well in his short time with the Cleveland Browns last year. And he's going to get an opportunity this year to get some starts on his belt. I think he's a guy who is very overlooked as a receiver, and he's adapting very well. Him and Braxton Miller are two guys that are converting very well to the wide receiver position, and I think it's going to work out best. I think that receiver, the position of wide receiver, is going to benefit their careers going forward. I think it's a much better chance for them to land on a roster as a receiver than it is as a quarterback. So with that being said, the NFL draft did pretty well for the Cleveland Browns. Like I said, they had a huge buttload of draft picks, I think, this year and also next year. They did a good job bringing in guys like Jordan Payton from UCLA. I want to say Ricardo Lewis from Auburn. He's coming into this team to add some depth. And Corey Coleman, who's going to end up being the team's number one receiver. He has to be the team's number one receiver, and hopefully they do find their rightful quarterback in this quarterback mess, which is Cody Kessler, RG3, Josh McCown, and Connor Shaw. So nonetheless, it's going to be a pretty interesting, time in training camp for the Cleveland Browns. This is a team that is getting younger and younger every day, and they're trying to go down the route of the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars do have that veteran presence, and that is something that this team just does not have on the offensive side of the ball. And hopefully, the Browns do turn this around, because I think this is a team in about 4 to 5 years down the line that can get it back into contention. I think they can really be a threat with the right draft picks. They drafted right this year. I am very happy with the way they drafted. I gave their draft a B+. They just add a lot of depth to certain positions. I think they got a steal and Scooby Wright on the defensive side of the ball. But hopefully this offense finds their groove. Hopefully the right quarterback is chosen.
The future is now for the Cleveland, or the future is coming up for Cleveland, and it's all about development. Hopefully that these players develop very well. Hopefully Hugh Jackson's mindset is going to be going down the right path, and we'll just go from there. So hopefully everything's going well for the Cleveland Browns. So if you guys are still new to the channel, make sure you click that subscribe button. I would love to get your guys' feedback on this transaction of Brian Hartline being cut from the roster, the lone veteran of the receiving corps on this roster. You guys can check us out on our website at thenexussportsnetwork.com, as well check out our sister site at combatcoveragemmma.com. You guys will get everything in the world of MMA. You got news, rumors, updates. We took the MMA section down on our website. It will be a immediate clickable link that will take you straight to combat coverage for our MMA coverage. We're going to have specifically, we're going to have professional wrestling coverage on our website. We're going to have that as a main feature, and the combat coverage is going to be a standalone kind of thing, but still a clickable link nonetheless. So make sure you guys go and check out both of those sites. Follow me on Twitter at JustinDavidKish. Follow the Facebook page at JustinDavidKish, at facebook.com/JustinDavidKish. Also, facebook.com/sportsnetwork. Catch you guys next time. Hope you guys have a safe weekend and enjoy the rest of your week.